Hello and namaste. I am Samita ma'am from PEA. Are you preparing consistently and gaining confidence day by day? Or are you still caught in the trap of procrastination? Remember, only 1 month remains until your exam. It's time to take your preparation seriously and make count every moment. So we are here to support you throughout your preparation. Stay focused and consistent. Let's get started. This is question number 49 from group A. Which one is correctly matched? First option is there is no teacher but loves his students. Second, I met Ritu who gave me a rose. Third, though Floria prefers watching romantic films, she rented the latest spy thriller and she enjoyed it very much. See, simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence, and the last one, compound complex sentence. Let's find out the correct answer. In terms of first option, you can see there is no teacher but loves his students. Here this but stands for who. And whenever you replace but with who, then it becomes a complex sentence. Let me read the sentence. There is no teacher who loves his students. There is no teacher who loves his students. Now it becomes complex sentence because of this who. Let's go first, second option, that is I met Ritu who gave me a rose. Have you noticed comma here, in front of this WHO who? Whenever there is comma in front of who, it makes, and. Or let's say it becomes and, right? So let me read, I met Ritu and we replace who with she. I met Ritu and she gave me a rose. Now this sentence becomes a compound sentence because of and. So let's go to third option. Though Floria prefers watching romantic films, she rented the latest spy thriller and she enjoyed it very much. Here you can see, prefers as a first verb, rented as second verb, and latest as, 3 verbs. There are altogether how many verbs? There are 3 verbs. If there are 3 verbs, then it makes your sentence compound complex. Because of these, 3 verbs. Prefers, rented, latest. Now this sentence is being compound complex sentence. So first sentence is compound, complex sentence. Second one is compound sentence, and third one is compound complex sentence. So the correct answer is option number A. Let me explain this very answer also. This I means I means complex sentence, right? I stands for 3. That is complex sentence. Is there any doubt? Definitely option number first is complex sentence, no doubt. And what about option number second? Option number second, is our compound sentence, right? Option number second. I met Ritu, who gave me a rose. Here who stands for and, right? I met Ritu and she gave me a rose. Now finally it becomes a compound sentence. So here second is compound sentence. Second option is compound sentence. That is also correct. Yes, our second sentence is compound sentence, no doubt. And the third one, though Floria prefers watching romantic films, she rented the latest spy thriller and she enjoyed it very much. Third, your third option stands for compound complex sentence. That is IV, compound complex sentence. In this way, your first option, that is I, option number A is correct. Are you getting it? I hope you got it. Question number 50. She is the girl. Option number A, who everyone knows, that everyone knows in terms of option number B. Option number C, whom everyone knows. Option number D, whose everyone knows. Look at here. First of all, she is the girl, right? No doubt, she is the girl. And it means to say that everyone knows her, right? She is the girl, everyone knows her. Simply we say it. And there is a formula. If there is person and it is followed by noun or pronoun, then you have to keep WHO whom in between. Look at here, let's check it out. The girl stands for person, right? Person. Okay, and another is, you have to go for either noun or pronoun. Here you can see everyone, which is indefinite pronoun, right? Here at first there is person, okay, there is dash in between, and that dash is followed by everyone, which is indefinite pronoun. So there is pronoun. Pronoun in front of person, okay, there is for that dash is followed by everyone, that is indefinite pronoun. That's why you have to keep whom. If you go from this trick, if you want to know it from theoretical aspect, or if you want to know its meaning, okay, in details, then you should know that she is the girl whom everyone knows means whom replaces her, the object of knows. That's why option number C is correct. She is the girl whom everyone knows. Now let's go for question number 51, that is a person who never gets tired is. We have 4 options. The very first option is impromptu. Impromptu means, it describes something done without preparation, or let's say spontaneously. That impromptu, it doesn't describe any person. Right? It doesn't, explain about a person. Actually, okay, it is, an adjective that tells you that, something done without preparation or spontaneously. Now, let's go for option number C, maladroit, okay. A person who is clumsy, awkward, or lacking skill, particularly in handling situation or physical tasks. Let's go for another, option number D, incorrigible. Okay, incorrigible means a person who cannot be corrected, reformed, or changed, especially regarding their bad behavior or habits. So the correct answer here is, indefatigable. Indefatigable means a person who never gets tired. Okay, so the correct answer is option number B. Let's go for question number 52. The word visa is pronounced as, we have 4 options. So let me take you towards this answer, okay. It has 2 syllables, okay, V and another is ja, alright, V and that is ja. So it is pronounced as visa. That's why option number D is correct answer. This question is from preposition and it is question number 53. Every day a number of aeroplanes fly dash the clouds, but to watch aeroplane flying dash my building is divine. Option number A, above, over. Number B, above, above. Number C, over, over. Number D, over, above. Now let's find out the correct answer. Okay, every day a number of aeroplanes fly. Look at here, the clouds. It means to say that every day a number of aeroplanes fly, above the clouds. You please write down here above. Why? Because planes are higher than the clouds. Okay, when something is higher than something, in terms of that very comparison, or let's say, you have to keep above. In short, planes are higher than the clouds. That's why you have to write above. And what about second one? Okay, but to watch aeroplane flying dash my building. Look at here, my building is divine. Here in terms of this, okay, you have to keep, over, because a plane is moving across the top of your building. It is moving from one side to another. For this type of motion, you have to go for over, over. So every day a number of aeroplanes fly above the clouds, but to watch aeroplane flying over, my building is divine. As we know that, over stands for, here in this case, a plane is moving across the top of your building. That's why we are writing over. Let's go for question number 54. He resigned rather than dash part in such a dishonest transaction. You have 4 options: take, taking, took, had taken. Okay, in terms of rather than, right? In terms of rather than, it requires the base form. Okay, it requires the base form of the verb to maintain grammatical parallelism. Okay, that's why base form means that is first form of verb. That's why option number A, take, is correct answer. He resigned rather than take part in such a dishonest transaction. Let's go for question number 55. Dash the same night did the accident take place? In, to, on, at. Okay, see, dash is followed by the same night, and you know that we use actually on for a specific time reference. What is that specific time reference? That is the same night. That's why we have to go for on. Which one is grammatically correct? Yes. Now come on. Such a self-sacrificing man who has come wins our sympathy and admiration. Option number A. Option number B. Every of the 5 children standing in the corner of the room is dexterous in painting. Option number C. You and myself will enjoy the party to be arranged in honor of the new Chief Justice. Number D. There were sight industrious workers and 5 lazy ones. And the correct option is number D. Let me find out why other options are wrong. Actually, in terms of very first, sentence, you see here, such a, sacrificing man. This is correct. Okay, this is very good part. We can say this is its good part. Good part, okay. And the second part, let me, break down. Who has come? This is not natural. Okay, this looks very awkward. This is not natural. Okay, not a good part, or let's say. And another is wins our sympathy and admiration. Okay, this part actually, stands for the emotional part for this sentence, right? But look at here, we have to see its grammatical structure, right? Here, in terms of, first, sentence, you must write, such a self-sacrificing man earns our sympathy and admiration. This is the correct form, for, option number A. Okay, such a self-sacrificing man, okay, who has come for that, earns our sympathy and admiration. You have to write, because who has come? If you explore, if you want to know exactly who is coming, from where he is coming, okay, from where he is, right? So we have no idea regarding that. Okay, that is not clear. It makes your sentence very vague. That's why in order to be, correct, or let's say in order to make this sentence correct, your sentence must be such a self-sacrificing man earns our sympathy and admiration. That's why your option number A is wrong. What about option number B? Why this is wrong? Let me tell you. Every of the 5 children standing in the corner of the room is dexterous in painting. First of all, look at here, painting. Spelling itself is wrong. Okay, Painting. You have to write down Painting, right? That is wrong, first of all. And look at here, every, where is one? Okay, instead of every, if here is each, then it might be correct. Okay, but there is no each. If here is every, then you must add one. Okay, every one of the 5 children standing in the corner of the room is dexterous in painting, right? So every one of the 5 children standing in the corner of the room is dexterous at painting. That should be the correct. But you lack, one. That's why option number B is wrong. What about option number C? You and myself will enjoy the party to be arranged in honor of the new Chief Justice. First of all, look at here. Justice is okay because it has its first letter, first alphabet capital. And what about C? C is, not capital. So you must make it capital, CHIEF, okay? And what about you and myself? You and myself, this is wrong. Myself here stands as a, reflexive pronoun. You can't write down myself here at the beginning, because here you must write here I. You and I, okay, will enjoy the party, okay. To be arranged, what about to be arranged? Okay, here instead of to be arranged, you must write being held, okay, being held, and you just add all this line in honor of the new Chief Justice. So in order to make it correct, you must write, you and I will enjoy the party being held in honor of the new Chief Justice. Okay, all right. I hope you get it. There were 8 industrious workers and 5 lazy ones. There were, okay, and 8. Plural subject X, plural verb. Okay, that's why option number D is correct. Now let's go for 57. It is from question tag. A little water is left in the bottle, isn't it? Is it either A or B? Neither A or or let's say nor. Okay, look at here, little water. First of all, okay, your quantifier, that is little. Little stands for negative word, right? It makes your statement negative. Now you must make your question tag positive. That's why, okay, isn't it? You know, this is already negative question tag, right? So here you need a positive question tag, and this is, you know, auxiliary verb case. In terms of auxiliary verb case, you must write is, and you can't write not, because your statement is already negative. That's why, and what it stands for it, that's why is it. Option number B is correct. Now this is the tone of February. Children should be immunized to prevent dash catching serious diseases. You have 4 options: them, theirs, themselves, their. Here, children should be immunized to prevent their catching serious disease. Okay, you should keep here possessive pronoun, that is their. Who's catching serious disease? That's why their. Okay, children should be immunized to prevent their. This their, you know, stands for, you know, it represents children. That's why there. There is correct. The passive form of our presence, or is me. Okay, so very nice question. All right, you have 4 options. I am worried at her presence. You can see here at, right? I am worried by her presence. You see here bystander. I am worried with her presence. All right, with also. I am worried from her presence. First of all, you should know your verb. Your verb is worried. Okay, worried. And it doesn't take bystander in terms of passive voice. Okay, so here the correct answer is I am worried at her presence, because, you know, in terms of the verb worried, you know, it is followed by the preposition at, not by. So the correct answer is I am worried at her presence. We would be terribly offended if he. This question is from conditional sentence. Now see, we would be. Okay, this is your main clause. Okay, here is, you know, would be, means, you know, would plus verb 1. So here, if here is would plus verb 1, definitely you must have, you know, verb 2 in your if clause, right? So here verb 2 is did. We would be terribly offended if he did not come. Did stands for verb 2. That's why option number C is correct. Now let's start our reading comprehension part. This is question number 97. What is the primary reason the brain forms habit according to the paces? Okay, we have 4 options. Okay, to eliminate the need for learning new tasks, to protect against emotional stress, to streamline cognitive efficiency by automatic repetitive actions, to strengthen decision making skills. Okay, so your question is primary reasons the brain forms habits according to the paces. All right, now let's go for here, right? So Charles D. Hugg explores the, you know, neurological underpinnings of, you know, habitual behavior, asserting that the brain seeks efficiency by automating frequently repeated actions. Once a behavior becomes ingrained, it no longer requires active decision making, thereby liberating cognitive resource for more complex tasks. According to this very, you know, statement given by the author, right, we can say to eliminate the need for learning new tasks. This is wrong, because habits don't stop us from learning new things. Actually, they just make repeated actions easier. Right? So what about option number B? To protect against emotional stress. Actually, it doesn't talk about habits protecting us from stress, right? What about option number C? To streamline a cognitive efficiency by automatic repetitive actions, right? Actually, according to this information, yeah, this is correct. And what about option number D? Option number D, you know, it talks about to strengthen decision making skills, which is wrong. Actually, habits reduce decision making, not improve it, because they work automatically. Why are, you know, maladaptive habits difficult to eliminate? What is the reason? We have 4 options. Let's find out. They are inherently tied to one's identity. Okay. According to the passage, you know, habits are not about who you are. Actually, they are just automatic behaviors. That's why option number A is wrong. What about number B? They typically produce a strong emotional response. Is it? According to the passage, you know, the passage actually doesn't say bad habits cause, you know, strong emotions. Because of this, you know, reason, option number B is wrong. What about option number C? They become, you know, embedded in unconscious, you know, neural pathways, which is true according to the passage. You know, option number D. they offer more rewards than healthy habits. Here, okay, this this is actually wrong, because bad habits don't give bigger rewards, they just feel rewarding because they are automatic. Because you can see here, okay, why are maladaptive habits difficult to eliminate? Maladaptive habits, look at here, those that undermine well-being are notoriously resistant to change, precisely because they operate beneath the radar of conscious thought. Alright, because of this reason you can say option number C is correct here. Let's go for question number 99. According to the passage, how can an individual successfully rewrite a habit loop? Okay, here your keyword is successfully rewrite a habit loop, or let's say habit loop is your keyword. Now let's find out where is that habit loop. Alright, you can see here habit loop. Okay, habit loop, you read the whole line. Okay, De Hoog introduces the concept of the habit loop comprising three components: the cue, a trigger, the routine, the behavior itself, and the reward, the perceived benefit. To modify a habit, one must diagnose its loop and deliberately replace the perceived benefit. To modify a habit, one must diagnose its loop and deliberately replace the routine while maintaining the original cue and reward. Okay, according to this information, we can say that option number A, which talks about by introducing a new reward to disrupt the loop, this is wrong, because you don't add a new reward, you keep the old one. This is the information we perceived from this passage. So this is wrong. What about option number B? Okay, by eliminating the cue and the reward entirely. Okay, so if you go through these very lines, you can get an idea that you don't get rid of the trigger or reward, you need them to stay. And option number C, by altering the routine while preserving the original cue and reward. Exactly, this is true according to our passage. And what about option number D? Okay, so by focusing only on the emotional triggers of the habit. Actually the passage doesn't focus on emotions. Okay, it doesn't say about this thing. That's why option number D is wrong. For this question number 99, option number C is correct. What about question number 100? See the question. What role does self-awareness play in modifying behavior as per the passage? Here in this question, okay, your option first is, it is optional but accelerates the process. It replaces the need for external motivation. It enables individuals to ignore the neurological basis of habits. And the last one, it is essential for identifying and replacing entrenched patterns. Let's find out the correct answer. Okay, so what role does self-awareness play in modifying behavior as per the passage? Okay, self-awareness play in modifying behavior. So look at here, your keyword self-awareness. Okay, now we have to read all this whole sentence. Let's start. Long-term behavioral transformation therefore hinge on heightened self-awareness and disciplined effort. Individuals must develop the capacity to scrutinize their actions, identify patterns, and substitute more constructive behaviors. Okay, you have to be based on this very clue, and let's find out the correct answer. First option says it is optional but accelerates the process. This is wrong, because self-awareness is not optional, it's a must for changing habits. What about option number B? It replaces the need for external motivation. The passage actually doesn't talk about replacing external motivation with self-awareness. That's why this is also wrong. What about option number C? It enables individuals to ignore the neurological basis of habits. Okay, this also it doesn't let you ignore how habits work in the brain. You need to understand them to change. Okay, this is the information according to the passage. What about option number D? It is essential. Okay, it is essential for identifying and replacing interest pattern. Yeah, this is true according to the passage. So self-awareness play in what does self-awareness play in modifying behavior as per the passage? All right, as per the passage, self-awareness play, actually it is essential for identifying and replacing interest patterns. All right, have a good day.